Hi everyone, this is Mr. West. Today we're doing a Khan Academy tutorial on use arithmetic sequence formulas. So we have this arithmetic sequence formula here to start. So let's break it down real quick. I have another video on this also, but let's break this down into its components. So we have the C of n. What does that mean? Well, C is kind of just the label for the sequence, okay? And a sequence has a bunch of terms. It has, you know, it could be a series of numbers. For example, 2, 4, 6, 8, that's a sequence, and it can continue indefinitely. But you have a first term, you have a second term, you have a third term, you have a fourth term, and so on. So this keeps going on forever. Now, what this n represents, this just represents the nth term. We're not sure which number it is, but it could represent any. So it's like any of the terms, okay? And then we do something to that term. Now, what do we do to it? Well, the pattern, there's always a pattern, okay? In arithmetic, we're either adding or subtracting. So in this case, what are we doing? Well, we have this -6 that we're going to be adding to, and here we have 5 times whatever this n minus 1 is. So what is n minus 1? N minus 1 represents the previous term. So let me write this down here. So here we have n minus 1, okay? If the nth term is any term, then n minus 1 just represents the term before. So this is the previous term, okay? So we're always going to do something to the previous term in order to get our next term. So when it asks us to find the 8th term in the sequence, well, what does that mean? Well, that means we need to find the 7th term and find what that 7th term is so we can input it to get the 8th term. Okay, so what are we going to do here? Well, we can go ahead and plug in some numbers. Okay, it doesn't give us the first term. Usually it will tell us what the first term is. But in this case, I think we're just going to input it into our system here, and it will tell us what our 8th term is going to be. So let's go ahead and we're going to put, we want C of n, and we want that to be C of 8. Okay. So in order to put C of 8, we need to put in 8 in for n. Okay, so we're going to put -6 plus 5 times 8 minus 1. Okay, so then we have 8 minus 1. That gives us 7. And we multiply that by 5 and -6. So we're going to get 35 minus 6. Okay, so that's 35. Plus the -6, the same thing, 35 minus 6. And we should get 29 for that term. So let's go ahead and put 29 here and check it. All right, next question. Now we're moving on, and we have find the 4th term in the sequence, but this one's different because it gives us the first term. Okay, and the previous problem is different. It didn't give us the first term. So we already know we have part of the pattern here. We know the first, okay, I'm just going to write second, third, fourth. We were supposed to get the 4th term. We know our first one is -2. Okay, and we're doing something. Okay, notice how it's not a number here this time. It's a n minus 1. The other one, it was 5, and we knew we had to multiply by 5, okay, to the pattern. This one's different because it says a. That means we need to find out the previous term. So I think I said that in the first one. We didn't need to find it out because it had a is given a number. Okay, a was 5 in the previous one. This one, we don't know, so we have to find the term before. We need to find this 3rd term in order to get to the 4th term. Recursive means we plug something in, and then we do something to that previous term to get the next term. Okay, so I digress. What are we doing each time? Well, it says here our pattern is we're going to subtract 5 from the previous term. So we already know that this means the previous term. This means any term, specifically. Okay, and we're going to move on to number 2. What are we doing each time? We are subtracting 5. Whoops, I'm looking for my blue pen. There we go. So we're going to subtract 5. We take our first term. Okay, our first term was -2. We subtract 5. That's the pattern. And we get -7. Okay, so if we were to put in, if we wanted to find the 2nd term as an example, we'd do a. We would need to do 2 minus 1 and then -5. Okay. This means a of 1. So this is why we need the first term. Notice how it gives us the first term. I have too much going on right here. Notice how it gives us the first term right here. -2. So instead of writing A1, okay, we're just going to write in -2. The pattern is subtract 5, and this will tell us what our second term is, -7. And we already established that from the pattern, but now you know how to interpret what all this means, okay? Now, we're just going to keep this pattern going. We're going to subtract 5 again, and we get -12. So the fourth term, we would need the third term, -12. We would apply the pattern, -5 from that, to get our fourth term, -17. Okay, so we're going to type in -17 in for our answer for the fourth term. Okay, here we go. This one says again that we have the A is given. Okay, so instead of we don't know, we have a given number, so we just need to plug in 6 to this one. So we're going to go 8. We want to find the sixth term. So we're going to do 8 minus 6. And then we want the sixth term, so we type in 6 again. Okay, and we're just going to sort this out. So we have 8 minus, we have 6 times, this is going to be 5. So we have 8 minus 30, order of operations, people, and we get -22. So the sixth term is -22. And we could find the first term too if we wanted to, but it's not asking for that. So in this case, it's going to be -22. Let's check it. Okay, we have lots of questions left. Okay, I'll do a couple more. So here we have the first term, and we want to find the second term. This one's easy, okay? The reason why it's easy is because the pattern's +1, and we just want to find the second term. Well, if we're given the first term, that means we just have to apply the pattern one time to get it. So we just need to add 1 to 16, and we get 17. So the first term is 16. The second term, add 1 to the pattern, and we're going to get 17. So 17 is the second term. Okay, a couple more here. See here that we have a number specifically here, and we're not given the first, so we just plug it in for the 12th term. So we're going to just type this in. Okay, -4 minus 2 times, and we're going to have 12 minus 1. That's -4 minus 2 times 11. -4 minus 22. So what is that? -26. And that's going to be our answer. Let's just double check that real quick. This is going to be 11 times 2, 22. And yep, should be -26. It'd be embarrassing we got it wrong at this point. Okay, we're given A1, and we're trying to find the third number. And if you're getting fast at this, you don't have to write it all out like I've been doing, but you can just apply this pattern twice, because we'd do -17 to get the second term, and we do -17 again to get the third term. So in total, we could just subtract 34 from 20, and that's going to give us -14. And again, just so you're not aware, so it would be 20 minus 17, because that's the pattern. That'd take us to 3, and then we minus 17 again, and that would take us to -14 for our third term in the sequence. So -14. -17 twice is -34. -14 is the third term of the sequence. And hopefully just finish this one off. One last one to do. We're going to plug in 12 here. So we're going to do 12 minus 1 is 11 times, 11. I was typing it on, but 11 times 6 plus -5. So we get, what is that, 66, and then -5, so that will give us 61 for our answer there. So that's it. That's using the arithmetic sequence formulas. You learned a little bit about recursive formulas in the process. Wasn't too complicated. I hope you enjoyed this video. Be sure to check us out next time right here on Wes Explains Best.